After the Buddha had 60 enlightened disciples, he sent them all away in different directions in the ancient Indian continent to spread the truth for the welfare and happiness of many, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare and happiness of gods and men. The Buddha himself went to Uruvela, where he came upon a forest hermitage with a large group of matted-hair ascetics who were fire worshippers. They were led by 3 brothers. The older brother was known as Uruvela Kassapa. He had 500 followers, while the younger brothers Nadi Kassapa and Gaya Kassapa had 300 and 200 followers respectively. They were highly respected spiritual leaders, capable of amazing supernatural feats, and considered themselves arahants or enlightened worthy ones. At the hermitage, the Buddha set out to impress Uruvela Kassapa and his followers with supernatural feats. It began with the Buddha asking if he could spend the night in the chamber of sacred fire. Kassapa warned that a fierce fire-breathing killer serpent lived there and would harass anyone without psychic powers. The Buddha was not afraid. That night, Kassapa saw flashing light, fire and smoke billowing out of the chamber, and thought that the Buddha would surely be dead. But the next morning, the Buddha brought the serpent out to Kassapa. It had shrunk and coiled itself harmlessly in the Buddha's bowl after failing to defeat him in a battle of smoke and fire. Kassapa was impressed with the Buddha and undertook to provide him with his daily food. However, Kassapa thought himself more worthy and powerful. The Buddha spent the entire rain season nearby and performed numerous miracles. He used psychic powers to split firewood, lighting stoves and helping the ascetics to tend to their sacred sacrificial fires. During the nights, various gods would visit and listen to his teachings, invariably lighting up the forest with splendid colors. Uruvela Kassapa grew more and more impressed, but still held himself more worthy than the Buddha. When a flood occurred, Kassapa went out together with some of his followers in a boat to look for the Buddha, but they saw him rise up to the sky and appeared safely on their boat. They were impressed, but Kassapa still thought himself more worthy. The Buddha read his mind and decided that no amount of psychic display and miracles would convince him otherwise. Eventually, the Buddha told Kassapa that he was certainly not enlightened. He was not even on the path to enlightenment, and that his practice of fire worship would not lead to enlightenment. Uruvela Kassapa then bowed down to the Buddha and requested to be ordained. When he announced his ordination to his followers, all of them also requested to join the order under the Buddha. They discarded their matted hair and fire-worshipping utensils into the river. The younger Kassapa brothers discovered all the things that drifted downstream to their location and were alarmed. They thought that something terrible must have had happened to their elder brother. When they discovered what had happened, they too, with their respective followers, decided to take ordination under the Buddha. Thus, Shakyamuni Buddha amassed 1,000 disciples at Uruvela. Together with this new community of monks, he went to Gaya. There, on top of Gayasisa Hill, he delivered a sermon to the congregation that would resonate with their fire ritual. Known as the Fire Sermon, it would be his 3rd sermon since his enlightenment under the sacred Bo tree. All is burning, monks, the Buddha declared. What is the all that is burning? The eye is burning. Form is burning. Eye consciousness is burning. Eye contact is burning. The pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feeling that arises as a result, that too is burning. With what is it burning? It is burning with the fire of passion, hatred, and delusion. It is burning with birth, old age, and death, with griefs, lamentations, pains, sorrows, and despairs. In the same way, the other internal sense bases and their corresponding external sense bases are burning. The ear and sounds are burning. The nose and scents are burning. The tongue and tastes are burning. The body and touch are burning. The mind and thoughts are burning. Thus the noble disciple grows weary of all the sense bases and their external counterparts, weary of the sense consciousness, contact, and arising feelings. Through weariness he becomes dispassionate. Through dispassion he is liberated. Through liberation there is the knowledge of the liberation. With the understanding that birth is destroyed, the spiritual life is accomplished, all the tasks are done, and there is no more for the state of being. While the Buddha delivered the sermon, those 1,000 monks were liberated from defilement and became enlightened.